There is a massive difference between a rookie cruiser and a pro. It all comes down to what you do in the first 10 minutes inside this room. Most people head straight for the balcony, but if you want to save your sanity and your wallet, you need to do these few things first before you even start to unpack. Before you touch a single soda or water bottle, take out your phone and take a clear, time-stamped photo of the minibar. Cruise lines often use automated sensors or manual checks that are prone to error. If a phantom charge for a $10 Snickers bar shows up on your final bill, that photo is your only get-out-of-jail-free card at guest services. The TV remote is statistically the filthiest object in any cabin. Even the best cabin stewards rarely have time to sanitize between every button. Don't just wipe it down. Bring a clear Ziploc sandwich bag from home and slide the remote inside. You can still use the buttons perfectly, but you aren't touching a week's worth of someone else's germs. We aren't just looking for clean sheets. Pull the linens back at the very corner of the mattress and inspect the piping or the seams of the mattress itself. You are looking for tiny dark spots or pepper flakes. This is the only way to spot a bed bug infestation before it's too late. If you find something, do not unpack. Call the front desk immediately and stay in the hallway. So, never put your passport or jewelry in the safe and just slam it shut immediately. First, you should check that the previous guest didn't leave anything behind, you know? Then, set your code and, test it at least twice while the safe door is still open. You really want to make sure the electronic lock is catching and releasing smoothly before you lock your life away inside. Head to the bathroom and turn on the shower and the sink to full blast. You're checking for two things here: instant hot water and proper drainage. On a ship with 2,000 cabins, plumbing issues are honestly pretty common. If your drain is sluggish, you definitely want maintenance in there while you're at the welcome aboard buffet, not at 11 p.m. when you're exhausted and just want to sleep. Most people don't realize that nearly every wall on a cruise ship is made of heavy-duty metal. Smart cruisers, well, they bring high-strength magnetic hooks and test their placement the second they walk in. By moving your daily planners, hats, shore excursion tickets, and lanyards onto the walls, you instantly double your usable counter space and keep the room from feeling cluttered. You know, many modern ships use these energy-saving sensors that throttle the AC when they don't detect motion. That means you might wake up in a sweat or, return to a stifling room. The pros, though, they know how to ping the system. Sometimes it's as simple as placing a business card in the power slot. But on newer ships, there's often a specific button sequence on the thermostat to keep it running at your desired temperature 24/7. Don't let your suitcases eat up your closet space. Almost every cruise ship bed is designed with enough clearance to slide large suitcases underneath. Just slide them in with the openings facing outward so you can use them as extra drawers for things like dirty laundry or those bulky shoes you won't need until the end of the trip. Privacy is about more than just closing the curtains. Take a quick look at the ceiling sprinkler heads and smoke detectors. While it's extremely rare, hidden cameras are a concern in the modern era. You're looking for any wires, lenses, or small holes that look out of place. A pro cruiser knows that true peace of mind starts with a secure perimeter. Cruise ship hallways can be, honestly, incredibly noisy at 2 in the morning. To test your cabin's soundproofing, have your travel partner stand out in the hallway and just speak at a normal volume while you're inside. If you can hear every word, try using one of those magnetic hooks to hang a heavy towel or even a dedicated sound-dampening curtain right over the door crack. That way, you can make sure you get a silent night's sleep. Standard cabins usually come with, well, exactly enough hangers for a 3-day trip, even if you're booked for 10. Don't wait until you're halfway through unpacking to realize you're short. Locate your cabin steward right away. They're usually in the hallway during embarkation and ask for an extra dozen hangers before, the other smart cruisers beat you to it. Don't assume the internet works the same everywhere in the room. Ship cabins are basically metal boxes, which can really mess with signal strength. Test your connection at the desk, on the bed, and out on the balcony. If you find a sweet spot, that's where you'll want to set up your charging station or do your browsing just to avoid that mid-upload frustration. Cruise lines have pretty strict rules against surge protectors because of fire risks on a ship's unique electrical grid. So plug in your cruise-approved non-surge power strip immediately. This way, all your devices, from CPAPs to tablets, have a dedicated spot. If you wait until later and realize your strip was confiscated at security, you'll be fighting for the 1 or 2 outlets available in the entire room. Digital muster drills are, really convenient, but they don't teach you muscle memory. After you watch the video on the app, physically walk the route from your cabin to your assigned muster station. Make sure to note any narrow hallways or stairs along the way. In a real emergency, knowing the path without looking at your phone is honestly the mark of a true pro. While cruise lines are pushing everyone toward their apps, technology fails. Ask your cabin steward for a printed copy of the daily planner immediately. Having a physical copy means you can plan your day without worrying about phone battery or spotty Wi-Fi, and it serves as a reliable backup when the app inevitably glitches during peak times. Cruise cabins get incredibly dark at night, especially inside rooms. Instead of fumbling for blinding overhead light and waking up your partner, plug in a small motion sensor nightlight in the bathroom or near the floor. It provides just enough light to navigate safely at 3 o'clock in the morning without ruining your sleep mode. Your cabin steward is the most important person on the ship for the next week. Don't wait until day 3 to meet them. Find them in the hallway during embarkation, introduce yourself by name, and give them a small handshake tip right away. State your specific needs clearly, whether it's extra ice every evening, 2 sets of towels, or a specific time you'll be out of the room. Setting this relationship early ensures you get pro-level service while everyone else is still waiting in line. Don't settle for the standard pancake pillows if you have back or neck issues. Cruise ships actually carry a variety of pillow types, from firm foam to soft down, but they have a limited supply. So, request your preferred type from your steward in those first 10 minutes. If you wait until after the first night of bad sleep, well, the good pillows will already be in other smart cruisers' cabins. If you have a balcony, check the seal immediately. Close the door and listen closely. If you hear a faint whistling sound, the rubber gasket is likely worn or the latch is misaligned. At sea, that tiny whistle becomes a high-pitched scream that will keep you awake all night. Also, make sure the child safety lock at the top is functional, so the door doesn't slide open during heavy swells. Cruise ship cabin doors are incredibly heavy and are designed to close automatically, but they often don't latch fully on their own. Get into the habit now. Every time you leave the room, don't just let it swing shut. Pull the handle until you hear and feel a solid click. Many thefts on cruise ships aren't break-ins. They're simply people walking into rooms where the door didn't quite catch. Most people head straight to the buffet after boarding. It's familiar, fast, and open. But I've learned that skipping it on day 1 is one of the smartest moves I can make. The buffet is always the busiest spot on embarkation day. Crowded lines, packed tables, and not the most relaxing welcome aboard meal. Instead, I head to the main dining room, or a specialty restaurant if it's open. It's quieter, calmer, and the service is better. And while I'm enjoying lunch, I get a few critical things done. If I'm on fixed dining, I check my table, and if I don't like it, I ask the maitre d' to change it early, while options are still open. I also take this chance to discuss dietary needs if needed. Gluten-free, vegan, allergies, you name it. And here's a bonus. While others are fighting for buffet seating, I'm already planning my cruise around what I need, not what's left. It's easy to get excited and just start wandering the ship. But smart cruisers? They head straight to their cabin. Why? Because this is your chance to fix any issues before the rush hits. I check everything right away. Is the room location okay? Is the balcony view obstructed? Are the beds set up correctly? Does the air conditioning work? I test the lights, the safe, the outlets, even the pillows. If something's wrong, I flag it to the cabin steward immediately. They'll be much more responsive before they're swamped with every other guest on the ship. If there's a real problem, like noise, layout, or a maintenance issue, I go to guest services early, before the line starts snaking through the atrium. And yes, I lock up my valuables in the safe, then take quick photos of the cabin while it's still clean. That way, I start my cruise organized, not already behind. Embarkation day can feel chaotic, unless you've already done your homework. That's why I pre-book everything I can before I board. I'm talking drinks packages, Wi-Fi, spa treatments, excursions, specialty dining, the works. Why? Because booking early usually means lower prices and better availability. Plus, it frees up my first day on the ship. While others are waiting in lines to reserve dinner or scramble for internet, I'm already enjoying my vacation. And when I do need to make changes, it's easier to tweak a plan than build one from scratch. Smart cruisers don't waste day one on logistics. They get it all sorted before the ship leaves port. Embarkation day can get rocky fast if your bags don't show up when you expect them. That's why I always pack a carry-on bag with the essentials I can't afford to lose. I ask myself, if my main luggage vanished, what would I absolutely need to get through the day? Or even the entire cruise? For me, that's medication, passport, credit cards, cash, phone, chargers, camera gear, and that's about it. If I had to, I could buy the rest on board or in port. But without those items, I'm in serious trouble. And here's the second part of this rule. Never pack anything you're not allowed to bring. Sounds obvious, but I've seen people get pulled aside for things like extension cords, full-size irons, or too much alcohol. Worse, some even try to sneak on drones, only to end up wasting time at security. Avoiding these items keeps your bags out of trouble, and you out of the embarkation day penalty box. Here's something most people don't realize. Embarkation night is the best time to book a specialty restaurant. Why? Well, because it's often cheaper and definitely quieter. While everyone else crowds into the buffet or main dining room, I'm enjoying a relaxed, high-quality meal without the chaos. No wait times, no noise, just great food and attentive service. Some cruise lines even offer discounts on specialty dining for night one to encourage early bookings. It also gives me the perfect chance to kick off my trip with something memorable, instead of waiting until later in the cruise. And if I decide I want to try another restaurant later on, no problem. The staff is available and flexible on day one. Smart cruisers skip the scramble and start with the steakhouse. Right after lunch, before I even think about exploring, I switch my phone to airplane mode. Why? Because your phone might silently connect to the ship's satellite network. And that means massive roaming charges. I've heard horror stories of people racking up hundreds in fees just by leaving their phone on. Once airplane mode is on, I set the time zone manually to match the ship's time. Why not auto-update? Because your phone might switch to local port time instead of ship time, and that can mess with your schedule in a big way. If you're not on ship time, you could easily miss events. Or worse, miss the ship when it departs. So now, airplane mode goes on early, time zone gets set manually, and I avoid both the panic and the bill. The smartest thing I do before embarkation day, I always arrive at least one day early, especially for long-haul cruises. It's not glamorous, it's not exciting, but it's the single best insurance policy you can give your trip. On my Panama Canal cruise with Oceania, a storm swept across Europe and canceled my flight just hours before takeoff. If I had planned to arrive the same day as the cruise, I would have missed the ship. But because I built in that buffer day, I had time to find another flight, and still arrived early. Booking a hotel for the night before might feel like an extra expense. But trust me, it's cheaper than missing the cruise altogether. Smart cruisers never cut it close. I thought I was prepared. I had every single document I needed, check-in QR code, all saved on my phone. But then I got to the cruise terminal, and the Wi-Fi didn't work. Suddenly, I couldn't pull up anything. That moment taught me a hard lesson. Always have offline access to your documents. Now, before I travel, I do two things. First, I print paper copies of everything, just in case. Second, I create a folder on my phone with all my cruise docs saved for offline use. Dropbox, Google Drive, even the Files app, whatever works for you. Just make sure you can open everything without needing a signal, because nothing kills excitement faster than fumbling with a dead screen at check-in. If you're cruising with kids, there's one thing you absolutely need to do on embarkation day. Register them for the Kids Club. Don't wait until the second day. Don't assume it's automatic. Go early, right after lunch if possible, because spots fill up fast, especially for younger age groups. It's quick, it's easy, and it gives your kids a chance to get familiar with the space before it gets crowded. And if you're planning to book babysitting or nighttime programs, do it now, while the schedule is wide open. Waiting even a few hours can mean fully booked sessions and disappointed little cruisers. A smooth first day for your kids? That's a smoother cruise for everyone. After I've settled in, handled dining, and checked off my must-dos, now it's finally time to explore. But I don't just wander aimlessly. I explore the ship with a plan. Why? Because I've been on cruises where I didn't discover the best lounges or quiet spots until day 5. And by then, it's too late. I use the ship map in my cruise card holder, the app, or join a guided tour if one's offered. I always look for tucked-away spaces, adult-only decks, cozy observation lounges, spa areas, or shaded outdoor seating. And if the ship has premium areas like the retreat or sanctuary. Embarkation Day is your one chance to walk through and see if it's worth the upgrade. After today, access is restricted. Plus, the ship's still quiet, so it's the perfect time to snap some great photos before it gets crowded. Smart cruisers explore early, so they cruise better all week long. After all the unpacking, planning, booking, and exploring, there's one thing I never skip on Embarkation Day: the sail-away party. It's more than music and drinks. It's the official start of your cruise. The moment the ship pulls away and the horn sounds, it all sinks in. You're finally off. No more to-do lists, just ocean and adventure ahead. It's also where I get a first look at the entertainment team, spot familiar faces, and sometimes meet people who'll become cruise friends for life. If you're feeling a little overwhelmed by the day, this is where it melts away. Grab a drink, find a rail with a view, and take in the moment. It's what all that planning was for, and it's absolutely worth it. You'd think a buffet is the easiest part of your cruise. Just grab a plate, pile it up, and enjoy the view. Right? Not exactly. What seems like a simple, relaxing meal can go downhill fast. There are unspoken rules. There are rookie mistakes. And yes, some choices could even ruin your day. You might waste money, upset other guests, or worse, make yourself sick. And the craziest part? Most cruisers don't even realize what they're doing wrong. In this video, we're breaking down the cruise buffet traps no one talks about, so you can enjoy every meal without the regret. You see that pitcher of water at the buffet? Looks harmless, right? But unless it's labeled purified or bottled, skip it. Tap water on cruise ships isn't always filtered to the standards you might expect back home. In most cases, it's technically safe. But safe doesn't mean it's fresh or good for your stomach. Older plumbing systems, unfamiliar minerals, and in some cases, that water sat in a tank for days. If you have a sensitive system or any gut health issues, you do not want to find out the hard way, especially not on day 2 of your 7-night dream vacation. Play it safe, grab bottled water, or stick to drinks you know were filtered, like the iced tea or coffee. Your stomach and your cabin toilet will thank you. That bread roll might look soft and fresh, but if you're tempted to just grab it, stop. This isn't your kitchen, it's a shared buffet, with hundreds of hands passing through every hour. Even one person skipping the tongs can ruin it for everyone. And yes, the crew does see it happen. So do your fellow cruisers. Want a recipe for judgmental stares? Or worse, being the reason someone gets sick? Bare-handing the food is how you get there. Always, always use the utensils provided. That tiny pair of tongs isn't optional. It's your social contract. No matter how clean your hands feel, no one wants your cruise germs on their dinner roll. Be polite, be hygienic, and don't end up in someone's gross buffet story when they get home. You've just finished round 1, and those shrimp were so good, you're ready for more. But hold it right there. Don't march back with that same plate. Reusing plates at the buffet isn't just frowned upon. It actually violates basic health protocols on every cruise ship. Why? Because used plates can carry bacteria from your mouth and hands straight back to the buffet line. Even if it looks clean, even if you barely touched it, it's still considered contaminated. The crew won't say anything, but they'll notice. And so will other guests. You don't want to be the person they whisper about. Or worse, the reason someone ends up with an upset stomach on day 3. Just grab a fresh plate. They're stacked everywhere, and it only takes 2 seconds to do the right thing. Keep it classy, keep it clean, and avoid becoming that cruiser. We've all been there. You walk into the buffet and your eyes get bigger than your stomach, and before you know it, your plate looks like it belongs on a construction site, layered, wobbling, and just one meatball away from collapse. But here's the problem. Overloading your plate isn't just impractical. It's a buffet blunder. Food gets cold faster, sauces run together, and by the time you reach your table, that beautiful slice of prime rib is swimming in ranch dressing. Plus, it really gives off a bad look. You definitely don't want to be seen as the person treating the buffet like a survival challenge. So take it slow. Make multiple trips. That's the beauty of an all-you-can-eat buffet. You don't have to win it in one round. Buffets might feel casual, but food allergies are anything but. Just because something looks safe doesn't mean it is. That innocent-looking salad could have hidden nuts. That grilled fish might have shared a spatula with shrimp. Cruise lines try to label things, but it's not always perfect. And here's the kicker. Buffets are a cross-contamination playground. Tongs get reused, spoons get swapped, and ingredients travel from tray to tray like they're on vacation too. If you have allergies, don't roll the dice. Ask a crew member. Better yet, speak with the buffet supervisor. They'd much rather answer your questions than call the medical team later. Remember, your cruise is meant to be relaxing, not spent reading ingredient labels from a stretcher. Let's talk cleanliness. That hand sanitizer station? It's not decorative. Buffets mean shared tongs, shared spoons, and, unfortunately, shared germs. Always sanitize or wash your hands before diving in. Don't use your fingers. Don't double dip. And for heaven's sake, don't lick anything and put it back. Oh, and if you drop a roll on the sneeze guard, that's a sign. One of cruising's best-kept secrets? Each side of the buffet might be different. What looks like a mirror image setup might actually hide the stir-fry station of your dreams. Some ships offer sushi on one end and tacos on the other. Asian cuisine over here, roast beef carving station over there. So before you settle for mystery casserole, do a little buffet window shopping. If you have food allergies, listen up. Cruise lines are pretty good at helping out, but you've got to speak up. Let the line know before you sail. Talk to a manager, not just the buffet server with 6 trays and a ladle. Cross-contamination is real, especially with shared serving utensils. When in doubt, ask for a supervisor. They'd much rather help you early than call the ship doctor later. Yes, there's bacon. Yes, there's cake. But cruise buffets also have grilled veggies, sugar-free desserts, salads with more than just iceberg lettuce. You don't have to eat clean the whole trip. This is vacation after all. But if you're aiming to not need stretchy pants by day 5, balance is your friend. We all learned how to behave at Golden Corral. Let's not forget it on the high seas. Here's your refresher. Don't cut in line. Don't hover and hold up the station. Don't make life harder for the crew. And always, always, grab a clean plate for seconds, even if your old one isn't that dirty. This isn't a backyard BBQ. It's a shared space with 3,000 strangers. Oh, and try not to camp out at your table during peak lunch. If others are circling like seagulls looking for a spot, maybe wrap up the poker game. Buffets get busy, like line out the door busy. Want to avoid the crowd? Eat a little early or a little late. Lunch at 11:30? Peaceful. Lunch at noon? Utter madness. Dinner at 6:45? Lines. Dinner at 5:30 or 8 o'clock? Smooth sailing. You'll thank yourself for the quieter experience, and for not having to fight over the last breadstick. You're not in a rush. This isn't airport food between connections. Slow down, chew, breathe, enjoy your meal. If you wolf down your meal in 7 minutes flat, you'll just end up with indigestion and a missed opportunity to people watch. Relax, you're on a cruise. I hate to be the fun police, but your wet swimsuit and no shirt look, not Buffett approved. Most cruise lines ask for a cover-up or t-shirt before entering. No shoes, no shirt, no shrimp. Also, no dripping through the buffet line like a soggy Labrador retriever. Dry off first, then dig in. Flip-flops are fine, but make sure everything that needs to be covered is covered. You just had a big lunch. You think, I'll skip dessert this time. But then you walk by the pastry station, and that tiny cheesecake calls your name like it knows your weaknesses. Remember, cruise calories don't count. That's not science, but it should be. If you see something that looks good, take it. The worst-case scenario, you don't finish it. The better-case scenario, you discover a chocolate mousse that changes your life. You pile up your plate, find the perfect table, and then realize your mouth is drier than a desert in August. Now you're stuck doing the buffet walk of shame, carrying your tray back through the crowd, looking for lemonade. Here's the fix. Always grab your drink before loading your plate. Water, iced tea, coffee, whatever keeps you hydrated and happy. A meal without a drink is like a cruise without a towel animal. Technically possible, but deeply disappointing. You want to go back for seconds, but you don't want to lose your spot. So you leave your purse, phone, sunglasses, tablet, novel, and bingo dauber on the table, like you're marking your territory. Here's the reality. Most people are lovely, but not everyone is honest, and buffets can be busy. If you're cruising solo, ask a crew member to watch your spot or take your valuables with you. If you're with someone, tag team your buffet run. Your phone doesn't need to save your seat. It's not a chihuahua at a Starbucks patio. You entered on one side, you explored the stations, and now you don't know how to get back to your table. It's not just you. Cruise ship buffets can feel like food labyrinths, especially after 3 trips to the carving station. Here's your solution. Take note of landmarks. Are you sitting near the soup bar, the ice cream machine, the guy who won't stop talking about how much shrimp he ate? Use your surroundings. And if you do get turned around, hey, maybe you'll find a new dessert section you missed the first time.